In 2017, two college buddies sharing a modest apartment figured out how to make crypto trading easy for anyone. They left the apartment, set up shop, raised money, and founded COIN DCX, India's largest crypto exchange and billion-dollar business.
The ever-evolving world of digital assets, navigating the complexities can be an intimidating task. But amidst this, COIN DCX emerges as a catalyst for change by simplifying digital investments. Meet Sumit Gupta and Neeraj Khandelwal, visionary entrepreneurs who've transformed their passion for trading and decentralized finance into this revolutionary fintech. This online platform has redefined the way people approach digital assets, making trading and investment more accessible and understandable. Since its inception, COIN DCX has empowered countless users through a user-friendly interface, offering a diverse range of cryptographic ledger-based assets and providing in-depth educational resources. With a transparent and secure approach, COIN DCX stands as a pinnacle of blockchain innovation in India, bolstering users' confidence in the world of digital finance. The dynamic duo's unwavering passion for innovation has propelled COIN DCX into becoming a premier platform with a mission to democratize finance and promote comprehensive financial inclusion. Come with us as we take a deep dive into their inspiring journey and impact on the realm of digital assets and trading, ushering in a new era of accessibility and inclusivity in the new world of finance.
And here we are with the founders of COIN DCX. Sumit and Neeraj, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
It's good to be
Thank
here.
you so much.
It's fantastic to be in your office. And let's start off this way. I mean, you're total pioneers in Web 3.0, and we'll get in a minute to what that means. But as kids, were you pioneers? Were you tearaways? Were you away from the pack? Were you the black sheep?
Yeah, I mean, right from the start, I've been quite into studies. So I've worked really hard, from ground up. So yeah, that was something different, and been good at academics right from the start.
But are you unconventional? Because in a way, I feel like pioneers are unconventional, or are you quite conventional?
Maybe because of my background, it's a little different than most of the other, children or my colleagues that were out there. But yeah, I mean, there is always this appetite to do something bigger than life and to do something which is not traditional. And maybe that's why I'm into this space.
Get away from the floor. Neeraj, what about you? Are you left brain, right brain, in the pack, outside of the pack?
I think I've been a techie, throughout, and right from the childhood I used to open things up and then try to pack them again, right? And in college and after college, it was all software development and hardware development.
Okay.
So this industry and the Web3 is like the next cutting edge.
Okay.
So natural interest.
It's the things being. But is it a case of tech guy and bunya? Is it as simple as that?
So in fact, I'm a bunya.
Okay.
So I'm a bunya. I did my first business, when I was like 5, 6. In my village, started something small, but that's how I thought maybe, I got this DNA from my family. My dad is also a bunya, and he did some businesses, when he was like 17, 18. So it's all coming. It's in the blood.
It's in the blood. But you guys, you're old friends, right? You're old friends, so you got together somehow. But how do you stay friends when you're kind of cheek by jowl every day?
Yeah, I mean,
That's a good question.
Are you still friends?
We love each other.
So we are friends from last 14 years. In fact, we have spent half of our life together.
Yeah.
And it's quite fun to work and build up something from ground with a guy you trust, and that's something which I believe is one of our strengths in the company, that we have spent so much time together. We know each other so well. Probably
Your brothers.
our wives.
Your brothers. You're like brothers, right?
Yeah.
Business brothers.
Yeah.
Brothers.
And we know quite a lot about each other. We openly share, we discussed, and I think that helps a lot when you're building business.
I think, back in 2019, I spent good time to understand the entire crypto and the blockchain technology, and I realized that it is going to fundamentally change, one, the way we exchange and store value, the entire financial ecosystem, and will also open up a new phase of internet. And during those times, I happened to meet Sumit and Neeraj. We had hours of conversations more around crypto and blockchain, and they really inspired me in terms of their vision, what they were building. And I just hopped upon on the opportunity.
Before we get into the business, what is Web 3.0? What is it?
Web 3.0. It's a web is internet, right?
Even I know that.
There was Web 1, and then there was Web 2, which is the current web.
That's where we're at, right?
Where we are at.
Yeah.
Web 3.0 represents the set of technologies, which will change and migrate this or upgrade the current internet to the next version.
Okay.
Which aligns more with what people need, what people want as of today.
Is that to say it kind of passes the power back to the people? Is that part of Web 3.0?
Yeah, I think it's a next phase of the internet, which is built by people for the people. It's decentralized.
Okay.
It's built all the way from ground up. Unlike the top down where few companies are there trying to regulate or control how to use the internet. So it's built from ground up, and all of that is built on a very, very powerful technology called blockchain.
Okay.
And because of that technology, what we believe is that the current kind of applications that we interact with right now, all of them essentially will have a layer of blockchain underneath them, which is going to make the systems or the tools and platforms you interact with a lot more secure, transparent, more inclusive, because a code fundamentally does not distinguish one person from the other. It's basically
I see.
A code, a trustless system which is running the internet.
So it's sort of the democratization.
Democratization and internet is public good.
It's a public.
Internet is a public good, but today internet is very centralized and it's managed by a few companies.
I see. So we have a few digital deities like Mr. Zuckerberg, and that's where we're at. And now this moves down to the people, like you say. So
it's going to take time, but eventually I think that's a better internet that is good for everyone.
So you've got the big trading platform, the big dog, you're into ventures, wallets. Why are you doing all these things, and is it hard?
Yeah, it's hard, but I think that's the problem that we need to solve. We want to create the ecosystem here in India, and for that it requires us to solve problems in a certain way, in a certain sequence. Just taking you 20, 30 years back when internet was new, first problem that companies need to solve was building infrastructure that gives access to internet, right, for the masses, laying down all the fiber cables and making sure that the infrastructure is there. That's the first important thing. If we don't have that, then essentially building all of these Google, Amazon will not have really that much an impact. Taking the same analogy here also in the Web3 space, first important thing that we need to solve for is the crypto adoption. More and more people should have access to these crypto assets, which in turn they can use in the broader Web3 ecosystem if you want to get real value out of it.
Well, I guess a lot of this is sort of not the Wild West, but a lot of it is uncharted territory, right? So inevitably you have to adjust as you go.
Yes.
Yeah, I think trading is pretty much a solved problem, right, in India and globally. There are a lot of unsolved problems that are still there.
Okay.
We are now solving that, and which we believe is the next step, in the direction of the company, and that's how I think the business and the ecosystem will all grow bigger over time.
Okay, so in the next section, let's talk a bit about how you're getting the message out there, how you handle investors, what the regulatory landscape looks like, and what you think about India. How about that? Okay, come. So you've got highly rated products and big name investors, but from a marketing perspective, how do you even begin to get this out into the masses of India?
Yeah, I mean, when we started, there were very, small handful of people, but as the, space grew, as Bitcoin became more and more popular, we organically acquired a lot of customers, and I think that all boils down to the fact that whether customers trust you or not. So I think as a brand, we've been, three things are very important, the simplicity, safety, and compliance. Simplicity is we need to build simpler products that masses can use. That has worked in our favor, and we've been able to do that to a great extent. Safety, because it's about customers' hard-earned money, their investment. It's important to build a very secure infrastructure, and that's what a lot of our energies is going into, and we have invested a lot into that direction. And the third thing is because the space is unregulated, it's important to focus on compliance. So we as a company believe that we need to be proactive when it comes to self-governance, self-regulation, self-compliance, and that's something that we have done. We were the first one to release our proof of reserve, so that has worked in our favor.
Okay, so you've built a lot of, quality assurance and safety assurance into your products. But Neeraj, do you think, in a funny way, you benefit from the fact you're operating in India, where there's such huge numbers of young people who actually haven't been conditioned by traditional finance?
India gives us a massive advantage, actually, right? Even though we always had ambitions for global expansion, but India in general, first of all, India has a massive developer strength. India is one of the top 3 countries when it comes to development, teams and the developer count. We've seen migration from Web 2 to Web 3. I think India is the best country for development in Web 3.
Is this helped by the fact that we've got a very young population here?
It's young population and deeply penetrated with internet, right? So India has a very deep, there are 700 million internet consumers in India, right? And the average age, huge demographic dividend that India has. So adoption of internet is great, right? So then naturally there is a tendency to improve the internet. Whatever you adopt, you tend to improve it. So Web3 is very well adopted in India, and it's...
So can we say in a way that even though regulators, Reserve Bank of India, Federal Reserve, whoever they are, whether they're kind of a bit jittery, your digital native customers are much more relaxed about the whole thing? Can you say that?
I think any nascent industry has bad actors and good actors. Right? So same goes with Web3 also. So that's the reason why you see people, regulators and the government getting a little jittery about it. But Web3 has grown so fast, and now we are the industries and the we are removing bad actors day by day by being more compliant. Government also coming out with guidelines on a gradual basis of what companies should.
And can government even keep up with this, right? I mean, again, the cynics would say they couldn't control, the great financial crisis of 2008. How on earth are they going to control this? And there is a case of old men and old women trying to regulate young men and young women.
Yeah,
does that concern you?
Yeah, you can't sort of, technology always moves faster than the law, right? First you see technology coming in, you see adoption happening, you see a lot of masses adopting to it, and then regulation follows. I think that's the nature we have seen with all the industries, even including the Olas and Ubers.
Yeah, but are they going to be able to keep up? What's your view?
I think the rate at which technology is moving fast, exponentially. I mean, regulators will need to catch up to the rapid evolving pace of technology, and there needs to be, processes and guidelines that will constantly keep coming up to protect the customers. And I think regulations are inevitable even in the Web3 space, and that's something that we have seen, happening right now.
One of the most important things is that blockchain as a technology is pretty nascent, and so a lot of the access to blockchain and the Web3 technologies is pretty difficult, right? So if you go and try to understand how to create a wallet, how to access a wallet, how to do different transactions on the blockchain, etc., that's pretty complex. One of the major visions that we have at COIN DCX is to simplify this access and make the product accessible for people.
Okay, so we've talked a bit about business, a bit about regulation, a bit about capital. Should we talk about you guys? Sure. Should we do that? Okay. So Neeraj, Sumit, our viewers are always kind of fascinated by the people behind the business. But what kind of people are you? I mean, what do people say about you, Neeraj? Easygoing, hard ass.
I used to be a very serious guy, like person who never laughs.
Yeah.
But I've changed that.
Have you? How's that happened? Is it hanging out with Sumit? Is it the business?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a realization, whatever we do, to keep laughing, be happy.
Yeah, you need a good sense of humor when in this kind of game. What about you, Sumit? How do people talk about you?
Life is already tough when you're doing a startup. Life is tougher when you're doing a crypto startup.
Yeah.
So it's important to have fun in the process.
Yeah.
That's I mean that's important, right? You need to have fun, enjoy in the process, and that's the reason Neeraj and I spend a lot of time outside the office also talking about all kind of stuff.
But are you different to him? Just starting off, are you quite different as characters to him?
I think we have a lot of complementary skill sets, right? And I think Neeraj is quite innovative as a person.
Yeah.
Always thinking about, okay, what next can we do? Very much focused on building.
No, not about business, about you. We're on to you now. We need to get under your skin.
So I sort of, I'm the one who sort of interacts with a lot of people outside the business, maybe investors, maybe,
more the front-facey.
Yeah, so I think that's where we have a lot of complementary skills, but the underlying theme is that we both gel really well as a friend. So friend first, business partners, later. So I think that essentially bring us very, very close as individuals, as humans, which is I think very, very important, because that's what adds more to your fun, while you're building stuff from ground.
And even in a worst case scenario, you've had a blast together.
Yeah.
So tell me, how much does your character and personality or personalities rub off on your team and culture? Is that a whole separate thing?
I think I'll just share 2 thoughts and then Neeraj feel free to add. I think there are a few values and ways of working that we have in the company. Like passion to build is one such value, and people get a lot of that from Neeraj, because building is the most important thing. Maybe I give that perspective of thinking big, and so we have a way of working like think 10x. So whenever we are thinking about something, we need to think about how can we create an impact at a larger scale. So I think that definitely gets reflected. But Neeraj, your thoughts if you want to add anything.
Yeah, I think here in the office we have we both don't do micromanagement, a lot of micromanagement. So people who succeed in the organization, they are true owners. People who take ownership by themselves, they succeed. And people who don't take ownership, they don't succeed. That's precisely because we don't micromanage.
Just staying on entrepreneurship and India. Hard place to be an entrepreneur, easier place? I mean, there's no one answer to this. What's your thought process?
Yeah, I think it used to be very hard to create businesses from India like long back, but now it's getting a lot more business friendly. Now there's a lot more talent who is comfortable and willing to has the risk appetite to join startups. Startups are also getting access to capital from venture capitalists across the globe. So you've got access to talent, access to capital, the right infrastructure where, now it's getting easier to do business, and India is improving a lot. I think this entire decade, I'll not be surprised if the next, 100 unicorns or another 100 or 1,000 will come out of India, because I think it has all the right ingredients.
Well, I guess the pace of change might have been a bit slow before, but
it all compounds.
Now it's compounding.
So you'll see all of that in this year, because India, the rate at which India is growing as an economy is very, very impressive, right?
Tipping point? Do you think we're past the tipping point?
I'm confident about that. I think, this particular decade is the decade of India.
Way of working is very collaborative. It is, they will be hands-on where it's required. Where it's not required to be hands-on, they will let the team run and do whatever they want to do, because they have trust. They've hired the right team and they have trust that they're going in the right direction. They'll keep monitoring at a high level. People like this flexibility. I think that is a core part of their leadership style.
A couple of questions before we move on to some quick fire stuff. What's your one piece of advice for budding entrepreneurs out there?
One piece of advice for entrepreneurs. I think entrepreneurship is a journey where you will see a lot of failures. Right. So, not being afraid of failures. If you fail, you just get up and in the same direction.
You failed better.
You fail again. And eventually, I think you will cross the line. But it's important to keep failing.
Keep going.
And keep going.
Keep going. Sumit, what about you? What's your top tip?
I think Neeraj covered a very, very important point, because definitely you're gonna fail if you're doing something, if you're venturing into the world of entrepreneurship. Another thing that I would like to emphasize more on is building up on my previous point of first believing in yourself that you can make it.
Yeah.
A lot of people get scared even at the start. If you ask us, like if you would have asked us 5 years back whether COINDCX will become $1 billion company, I'll laugh.
Yeah.
and you know, like, oh, you're kidding. Just like, you know, but it happened and we never imagined, like, we just kept working hard. I think first important thing, you know, which any entrepreneur should be willing to accept is that, oh, they can make it.
Yeah.
And then staying true, staying honest to that commitment, you will fail. You know, that's okay.
Yeah.
But if you keep going at it, at some point you will hit success. And it's an effort worth years and years. It doesn't come easy. For us, it's been like 5 years and we still feel that there's so much more we have to do. So thinking big and staying committed to what you have thought of is actually very, very important.
Okay, so again, a bit like you guys, the two things are quite close. So there's feel the right to be on the road, right? You have that right to be on the road. And I like what you said before, which is someone's going to do it, right? It may as well be you. So you've got the right to do it. It may as well be you. And then Neeraj, on your point, once you're on that road, stay on that road, right? Don't stop. Pick yourself up. That's fantastic. Okay, should we move out for some final quick-fire questions?
Yep, sure.
Let's do it. Sumit, Neeraj, let's end with a few rapid-fire questions. Okay?
Okay.
Ready? Metaverse, fact or fiction?
Fact.
Fact, of course.
Train or plane?
Plane.
Plane.
Early morning or late at night?
Early morning.
Family or business?
Family.
Beach or hills?
Hills.
Sunshine or showers?
Stars.
Showers.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. You've been fantastic guests and we're honored to have you on the show, and good luck with the business.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Like so many of our billion-dollar ideas, Sumit and Neeraj started with absolutely nothing. And not only have they created a billion-dollar business that's transformed the nature of crypto trading in India, but they've actually got themselves in a position to be architects of the extraordinarily exciting Web 3.0. It's a brilliant story. It's a story of persistence, of drive, of humor, of people working together. Excellent. Join me next time for more fascinating stories on Billion Dollar Idea.